Futurama is back on form with this episode, because this Squid Game parody is on par with A Flight to Remember,
Come Back When It's a Catastrophe,
and Fry in the Slurm Factory from earlier seasons.
Help! I can't swim!
Both in execution and comedy.
I can't go on.
Okay.
Because boy, did this episode have me laughing.
Good try, Bartholomew.
It gives us a flashback to Fry's 8th birthday party, and tries to end on an emotional note, but doesn't hit as hard as episodes like The Luck of the Fryrish or Game of Tones.
Oh, man, you...
But the sentiment is there. Mrs. Fry just wants her underdeveloped son to get a W for his birthday, going as far as to rig all the games. Speaking of, fuck these kids. Have they never been to a birthday party? Of course the birthday boy is going to win everything. I didn't mention last week's opening subtitle, but this one is pretty good. When did Futurama gain the ability to grant sentience to inanimate objects? Wait, are they referring to us as the inanimate objects? Those Let's start with continuity, or discontinuity. Like, what happened to Morris's mouth? Did the animators forget that his mouth is iconically sideways? That's a pretty big miss.
Ah, right. Here's a silly straw.
And who the hell is voicing Elzar? His voice actor is right there. It's so off, there's no way it's still John DiMaggio.
What's the matter, Fry? You look sick and so darn blue.
Chicken cordon bleu.
All the other returning characters, like the Signoid pizza couple or the gypsy fortune teller,
Sure you can die! You want to die?
are just there to fill out the needed 2 teams of 17. Now when they land on the planet, or toasted umber hole, according to Scruffy, Fry activates the planet and says this line,
Did anyone else see that?
taken directly from the late Philip J. Fry.
Did anyone else see that?
Now if I had studied it a bit more in the trailer, I maybe could have guessed this was Fry's house, but honestly, we've never seen it look this good. At young Fry's party, a group of friends show up, most notably Gedgy from Cold Warriors.
Get you out.
And maybe this kid grows up to be the beatboxing noticeably FAT? They give Fry and Gedgy a lost best friend story to explain Gedgy's animosity, which I didn't feel was needed. Gedgy was a genius, and Fry was, well, Fry. That was enough for them to beef.
Maybe I am, LL Fool J.
We also see Yancey being abnormally nice to Fry.
Good going, brother.
Later, when Kif is squashed by the Wiktionary, Amy gets a taste of his ooze, calling back to the Beast with a Billion Backs, when Zap learned of Kif's delicious blood.
Kif, get over here. You've got to try this.
And the last bit of continuity? Looky there, the ship is all fixed. Maybe it was from those weirdos' magic button.
Behold!
Now speaking of those weirdos, let's get into the references.
Everything's coming up catchy.
Starting with those big-headed freaks, or BHFs, being a reference to the freaks that show up at the end of Squid Game that also enjoy betting on people's deaths.
100 quids on blue.
They place their bets with Quids, so I guess they're British. Ah, Quids Game. Now I get it.
Bollocks! I got it too!
The games played are much more recognizable than those of Squid Game. Barrel of Primates,
Damn! My dribbling and differentiating arm!
blowing out birthday candles,
I'm actually, really good at this.
musical chairs, though I didn't see the Renko record vault down here. Then that classic game of Find the Baseball signed by the 1962 Mets, signed by players like catcher Clarence Choo Choo Coleman, who was clearly tired of Mrs. Fry bothering him, and manager Casey Stengel.
Ball in the moldy tangerines.
Then La Barbara finds a ball signed by both Bob Millers, both being pitchers for the 62 Mets.
Please, lady, I want to live. Can I use bat to protect head?
Inside the fridge, you can see this Iowan Punch from earlier in the episode, a disgusting sounding knockoff of Hawaiian Punch, and the Sea-Train Chardonnay, which sounds delicious. During the final game, Bender mentions his butt holding all his vital organs.
My vital ass organ!
This could be a reference to Put Your Head on My Shoulders when Bender's ass was at risk of catastrophic butt failure.
My ass! My beautiful...
Now, the laughs, because there were plenty.
Finally, I can give up limbo and start a professional sex league.
Fry's back with some all-time quotable lines like,
But there are 2 things I just can't do. Almost anything and cheat.
after Leela's frankly pathetic bit of whining. Boo-hoo, you're about to die. Fry also says,
I hope my grandma's proud of me down in hell.
which is hilarious, and Gedgie has this line,
They call me Monkey Breath for a reason.
I just don't think it's for the reason he's thinking. The BHFs were full of twists,
I knew you were twist guys.
often forgetting to mention them to the contestants.
The ones who don't find the baseballs. That's on me, guys.
And this little twist with their motivations.
Mine is to gain knowledge.
As for me, I don't have any motivations. And I have 2 motivations.
Or when Fry's painlessly getting his eyes removed, but does get his foot stepped on.
Whoops. Sorry, I stepped on your foot.
I love after young Fry wins Pin the Tail on the Donkey, his dad gives him a trophy that I'm guessing he won in his days as a professional donkey stabber.
You stabbed that donkey like a professional donkey stabber.
Hattie McDougal wins the competition that didn't end up killing anyone
How the schmeck are we alive?
and drops my favorite line of the episode,
He went down like a sack of shoes.
tied with the professor.
Pages 3 to 99.
No wonder I'm not enjoying it.
A few others worth mentioning are Sal taking up the BHFs on some grammar lessons he desperately needs,
Don't get me started.
and Bender taking great offense to Fry's bending of his name.
How dare you mangle my blessed name?
Also, Scruffy's tool belt didn't dissolve in this alkaline liquid. What's that thing made of?
Scruffy's gonna die the way he lived.
2 episodes in, and the season is just getting stronger.
I didn't realize you were still alive.
A fun Bender adventure to start,
I tried almost my very best.
and now an even more fun and much funnier Fry flashback.
You wouldn't believe what the mean kids used to twist.
I definitely didn't mention everything great about this episode,
Only regret is not getting any cake.
so let me know some of your favorite moments down in the comments.
That was the second worst birthday party I ever had.
Hit that like and subscribe button. The hip joint out.
Ow!